Well, so hang on. So it's the depression thing, is it? Or I mean, she didn't kill herself, did she? So, but did she? I don't. That's what I thought, and what my good friend Alan, hello Alan, thought at the end of the Woman in the Yard, which is a horror film, ostensibly from this year, directed by Jaume Collet-Serra, who's directed big movies, including The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, as he now is, and also Last, Carry On, which was the, sadly, not a film with Sid James and Charles Hawtrey, but a film for Netflix with Taron Egerton and Jason Bateman. It's not very good, considering the conceit is good, it's just not done very well. The conceit here is, well, the setup here is very nice. So, there are a mother and two children, one older boy, one younger girl, who, it seems, are in mourning for the death of their father, who's died in a car accident. Mother was also in the car and has her leg smashed up quite badly. I'm not quite sure if she's in rehabilitation, it's been a few weeks, or whether that's it now for her. They get up, when we first see them getting up, they're in a house which they bought as a fixer-upper, and we're fixing it up, and the power is off. She can't ring the power company immediately. They're having some financial troubles. And so, to just add to that, they see a woman sitting on their enormous land, quite far away, and they go out to see her, and she's a figure who's covered in black lace kind of thing, and seems to be some kind of death figure, played really well by Okpokwasili. I wanted to get that name right, because she has a really statuesque and frightening look, and she keeps coming closer and closer and closer, and affects her shadow in a kind of Hammer horror way, affects the dog, and eventually, I won't tell you what happens, but eventually we have a situation where the Ramona, the main character, has to face up to some of the things she's been hiding about the death, and also has to face that character. It's beautifully done because they can't go anywhere. The car has no petrol in it, no gas in it. They have no electricity. They can't go anywhere. They just have to stay there with a figure who appears to be getting closer and closer. And you know that claustrophobia will not last unless they try to get out, which they seemingly can't, or the figure gets in. And that's what happens. The claustrophobia at that point is broken. So you're going to need something to cover that. And this whole thing, that the character, the woman in black, if you want to call it that, because that's part of it, is a MacGuffin for basing up to your grief. I'm going to give you a spoiler alert now, because there is a confusing time when the woman in black, the character in black, arrives in the house. And you're not quite sure what's real and what's not. The young daughter disappears for a while. She's subsumed by that character and then suddenly arrives back. I might have missed something. I don't think I did. And then the ending is Ramona sending her children away and talking to the figure about killing herself, and she actually places the gun under the chin to ostensibly shoot herself, finish herself. And she's shown that the children can have a great life. You know, they're graduating and they have good jobs. If she wasn't there, she needs to set them free, because she's been shouting at them and all of that, and she's carrying that grief. There is no gunshot that we hear, and this is the spoiler alert, folks. She leaves the barn where is it a barn? Is it an attic? Can't remember. But she leaves that place, the barn, actually it is. And the two kids are there, they've come back. the power suddenly comes back on, and she's an artist and she's painted a picture of the woman in black some weeks ago, and she signed her name and it's backwards, so she's in some kind of shadow life, which is it could be a kind of direct your feet to the sunny side of the street type thing. Or it could be, you choose to live in the light and not the dark. The sun is out when she comes out of the barn. And it's a real cop-out, the ending. It's a real cop-out, and it's been quite nicely wrangled early on. But it runs out of road very quickly, because we've established as a character who's not going to leave, who's talking, who seems to be some kind of deathly figure, who's coming closer. What are you going to do next? We don't quite know, so we're going to give you shenanigans of facing grief and all of that. It's either a film about facing grief and destroying the black dog, as Churchill used to call it, of depression, or it's a horror film. It can't be both. Unfortunately, the director's trying to have his cake and eat it. It did well at cinemas, this. But it didn't do well in the household I was watching it in, because if you have to discuss it and ask questions, sometimes that's good. You can discuss metaphors and MacGuffins and what it really means and the imagery, and that's great. But if you're having to say, so what happened at the end? That's not good at all, is it? Ta-ta.